Too much automation without any oversight of a human starts the business model that the AI is being used to create. It's starting to fall apart, and I've noticed it many times over. But today, it really confirmed it yet again. Don't matter. It doesn't matter what restaurant I picked up at. When it came time to wrap it all up, put it on my cart, I like to put the drinks on the bottom in one of my old bags. I tie a bow in it, and I create a base. And I put another bag on top because I have semi-hard bottoms, and it creates a base. And this has happened for at least 6 months now. You know, I'm sorry, we don't have Coke. We only have Pepsi. That's a problem. After a while, it's a problem. We don't have Snapple. We only have Leaf. They had to improvise. They had to substitute. When I got to the delivery, the worker, now I did explain, this is not the store's fault. The people who are ordering the products through an app, and they knew who ordered the food, they knew that. They have the choice of Coke and Snapple, but the store don't hold it. So someone's getting paid to input that data, and they're earning a paycheck, but the data is not getting inputted. Nothing's getting upgraded. Nothing's getting updated. Now, this has been an issue since day one when I started the gig world. I worked DoorDash for the first year. It was the only app out here. I was one of the first people to work a food delivery app in my market. And I remember this restaurant, they actually started getting nasty with me. And I was like, listen, I'm just a delivery person, but DoorDash is paying you. It's your job. You contact them. You have to, and they gave me a copy of the upgraded menu. You have to give this to them. You have to tell them to upgrade. I just didn't pick up from that place anymore because they didn't understand it's not our responsibility. You know, that's DoorDash's responsibility to that's doing business with a restaurant to make sure that the restaurant menu is upgraded on their website platform at all times. And it wasn't. And they were getting mad at me. I remember that. And it wasn't nice. So I just stopped picking up from there. But after a year, I didn't work DoorDash anyway. So, again, someone's getting paid to do a job that's not being done. And we'll start off with that. It's causing a lot of problems. And the customer, I mean, there were two people. Because now this order was at least an hour late. The restaurant wasn't aware of it. The people in the room went, they didn't have any Coke? And they looked at each other. He loves Coke. Customer's not happy. They weren't shocked about the Snapple, but someone in charge wanted that Coke. They wanted to please somebody, and I'm assuming it's their boss. The way they looked at each other, and they went, didn't have Coke? And I said, it's not the restaurant's fault. And they listened to me, and they completely understood. And I only had to use a few words. They're like, we understand it's not being updated on the website. If a customer is ordering from ezCater, from whatever restaurant, ezCater got to make sure that every restaurant menu is updated at all times. That's a lot of jobs they would offer people, you know, keeping up with the data, the updated information. Customer wasn't happy. They wanted Coke. They didn't want Pepsi. Again, it don't matter the restaurant, but this is what I've noticed over and over and over and over and over again. AI is coming into play more so than ever. And I will show you an example in a minute what I mean by AI. Even with us, they want everything automated. No question about it. I get there, they didn't know about the order, and they didn't. Very calm. It took them like 10 minutes to contact. I watched, you know, what they were doing. Got the phone out, talking to each other. I get halfway here. They're contacting whoever they have to contact. Nobody knew about this order. It was $500 worth of food. She calls me over. She goes, we're going to prepare it now. Okay. I got an extra $10 for waiting. So the point of telling you this is the AI, the staff. No, before the staff tells me, she goes, because we talked for a moment. I really just listened, and I was like, yeah. And she goes, we're receiving emails from ezCater telling us this, telling us that we, they want to reprimand us if, she didn't use that exact words, but I knew what she meant, that if we can never be late ever again, and they keep enforcing that. Now, I will confirm that enforcement in a moment from the gig worker, because that's been a discussion with my friend Rob all week. I just didn't want to upload videos all week. Now I'm happy I waited. So what it comes down to is the automation, they don't want to be told. Like, the apps don't pay the servers. The apps don't pay the staff preparing the food. Because she was telling me we keep receiving all these emails from these apps, and they're telling us this, they're telling us that. The apps don't pay the restaurant's workers. The workers should not have to, the apps are dictating, you got to do this and you got to do that. Meanwhile, they're not even paying the servers. The servers are getting it from every tablet, from every angle, from all the automation. Control over the people. Keep working like a factory line. Keep going, with no human, interacting with them. They're taking orders from an app. Well, the app don't pay them. Their bosses pay them. Their employers pay them. It's coming from every angle. And again, not the first time I've witnessed this, been told this, but, after more than a handful of times, being told by staff, we keep receiving all these emails from these apps telling us what we need to do. Where's the boss? It's like, even in, like they say there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Now the apps want to be the chiefs. It's crazy. It's nuts. I sympathize with the workers. How many more people do you listen to? You're not paying me. My boss pays me. You know what I mean? It started with this. Dlivrd sent out an email a while ago, set the green standard starting Monday the 21st for the rest of April. Each on-time pickup earns an extra $2.50. And then they explained some more. So they sent that out. I just came across this. Introducing Nort, your personal delivery assistant. Update the app to keep delivering. Every minute a driver spends trying to find parking or the right door is a minute the customer is waiting. And that reflects on the restaurant. Nort help drivers do their jobs better and helps restaurants look good too. What is Nort? I guess that's how you say that. Is an integration within the Dlivrd app that provides great quality of life features such as suggesting the best parking zones to help drivers avoid delays and unnecessary fees. You mean tickets? I finally got a ticket. It was a while ago now, but it happened to me. I'll discuss that in a moment. Pointing out entrances and exits. So if a driver is unfamiliar with a delivery site, there's no stress. I don't believe that one bit. I'm not putting down Dlivrd. I'm questioning how helpful an app can be in the field when you're doing it, when you're driving, when you're in the parking lot, when you're driving around a building. Access Nort by clicking parking suggestions just above the swipe bar. Nort suggests the best spot, but it's still up to the driver's judgment to stay within legal parameters. You mean not to get a ticket? Man, and today, and that's another thing I'll discuss. what I witnessed today with workers from another restaurant. We just all happened to witness it at the same time. Then Dlivrd sent out an email, this April 29th, to clarify details of promotion, see below. Promotion begins May 1st with weekly drawings. Now get this, all drivers are eligible. It's a giveaway. It's a $500 giveaway to encourage timeliness and exceptional experiences for customers. Being on time to the pickup and drop-off earns you automatic entries. Perfect pickup equals 5 entries. Perfect drop-off equals 3 entries. We will draw winners weekly, 500 per week. So I don't know how long that's going to go for. Begins May 1st. Don't give an ending date. But you get it. They're really trying to... This one's a good one. All week long I said I was going to have a glass. And I finally had one tonight. So with... This started mid-April about the lateness. And my friend and I, Rob, I talk to him a couple of times a week. We do our thing. You know, it's been a problem. It's been a problem with drivers either showing up late, not showing up at all. Well, you saw me last week. They called me at the last minute. They had nobody to complete that delivery. And I didn't want to do it for $30. It was a little too far, a little too much food. Today they got me. It was a $35 payout, and I took it because I said to myself, I'm probably going to take off 2 days in a row. And I was in the mood. However, look what happened today. And the confirmation of what I thought was going on. Apps should not be, it's really the owner's responsibility to discuss whatever they need to discuss with their staff, especially when you're privately, a boss or two or a few bosses own a handful of stores. You should have communication with your staff. You shouldn't expect your staff, or any owner or any boss should not expect staff to take orders from an app. We'll start off with that. I mean, it's nasty. It's what? That, it's not the first time they didn't get the message. They didn't get the memo. Where's the boss? Where are the owners? I know it's hard to find good help, but from my life experience, there are a lot of employers out there who feel they are above you and feel that you should be beneath them and you should be at their beck and call. I used to be one of them. I'm glad I changed my way of thinking. But that's why it's hard to find good customer service in the jobs that aren't as desirable as they used to be. You don't have to agree with me. That's okay. But when I'm someone who used to be that, and good thing I feel good thing I was, because more empathetic, sympathetic. I don't talk down to people unless it's really earned, Every once in a while, there's that one bad worker. Now let's talk about that one bad worker. What I witnessed today, I was in Garden City. Now I've gotten a Garden City ticket. They're very strict. Okay, there's nothing wrong with keeping everything in order the way the taxpayers of that town, I don't know if it's a village or not, I should look it up. Yeah, they want their area to be, they want They're very strict in Garden City. Absolutely. They know how to get the revenue in. But what I witnessed today made me sick to my stomach. It was actually grotesque. That's how I felt. And I was leaving the restaurant. I was rolling my stuff to the car. And I was looking at the clock because it's hour parking. And I was like, I got 15 minutes to go because I had to wait for the order. I was going to move my car because I've witnessed them. They mark the tires. They because it's a big money thing in Garden City. They're right on it. Same thing happens in Rockville Center too. But this cop pulled up. He used his phone. He swiped the information on the car. Went to his car, pulled out a receipt. It was done for him. He didn't have to write anything. It just came out from a printer, and he placed it on the car, and he was laughing. He was smirking. It was disgusting. I was saying out loud, you see him? He's laughing. That cop is laughing. He was actually, I saw cops, because I was there a long time. All they did was go around. They were just getting people left and right. It was a rainy day. Now, people parking everywhere in the fire zones and where loading zones are, on the sidewalk, even though it's part of the parking lot. They don't want, because I get it. You want to keep everything in order. But when you witness, and you could ask my friend Rob if you really wanted to, go right ahead. I said it 2 weeks ago. Yeah, different rules for different people. No cop in his car, parked on the sidewalk halfway, blocking a driveway to a restaurant and the entrance into the parking lot. One of the entrances. But hey, can't wait to give you a ticket. We should have given that cop a ticket. Watching that guy, he was like smirking and laughing while he was doing it. Disgusting. You're supposed to look up to police officers. And I'm not knocking someone for doing their job. I understand they generate a lot of revenue that way. But to witness that little prick, and that's how I feel, and anyone who knows me knows I look up to police officers. And people that give a huge chunk of their life, they're selfless, taking care of communities and people. We have someone to call when need be. And that goes for fire department and, you know what I mean, ambulances and people on call. And I just do. Because it's a different way of life. But to witness that made me sick. It wasn't right. So when it comes to the workers, they're getting it from every angle. If you're an owner relying on AI, there's nothing wrong. I'm building my foundations using AI. And I like that my websites are going automated. I have everything on automation. The updates, which is constant with the plugins and the updates with the hosting. And I set it up that way. But I still have to be hands-on. And I do need to jump in every now and then and become a techie person and fix what's broken. I mean, now they're being told by AI, don't you dare. You're not perfect. How dare you? It's a bit much. Don't you think, guys? I think it is. All right, I could keep babbling. I have other information. I really want to just start uploading a video once a week because it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and people don't see that end of it. How's she doing that? Well, I live and breathe to work, paying off my debt, buying utility crypto, and I upload videos and I work. That's what I do right now. That's who I am. That's what I do. Until the next video. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.